Okay, here we are with Mike Reid, who is a friend of mine for many years and a serial entrepreneur who has started several businesses in the field of care. Now, his latest startup has to do with keeping healthy as you age, and it's called Goldster, which is a fabulous name. Uh, well, hi, Mike.
Hi, Ignacio.
Would you mind telling us what Goldacre is about?
Um, so Goldster is an online platform we have been developing over the last since October under my parent company, Care Vision's Healthy Aging, under their brand. Um, And over the last few months, we've done some work to, first of all, create the Goldster brand and say, how do we want to describe a healthy aging process, a participative health aging process? What would, and we are definitely talking to, in the main, people that are older, but also people of all ages, anyone who is interested in aging well. But it does tend to be people over 50. And what you find with people over 50 is it's very tough to get the branding right. I'm over 50. You're towards that territory. We don't really want to call ourselves these things. We don't see ourselves as these things. You know, and so tend to get pictures of, white-haired people, sunny, gazing off into the sunset, holding hands. That type of images. So we wanted something that was more edgy, more kind of playful, also something that was, kind of has a recognition. So it's not an oldster, it's not a youngster, it's a goldster. And it's not a silver surfer because it's in its top of the range, it's gold. So
Cool.
that's why we came up with the name.
Ghoster is a fabulous name. Sorry for getting it wrong at the beginning. Now, what is this product about? Is it a website? Well, how does it work? How do people come in?
Well, we've been in a long journey, you know, to working on and publishing more and more papers in the peer-reviewed literature around essentially healthy activities and non-pharmacological activities and the impact they have on health.
Okay.
So we recently, for example, published a paper in a US journal, a peer-reviewed journal, which was the impact of education in later years on your health and wellness as opposed to as a learning tool.
All right.
So that's quite a large meta study. So that's our background in this. So we're really interested in introducing these evidence-based approaches in a way that the consumer, which is us, likes and doesn't. It's completely non-medical in terms of how it comes across, non-clinical. Um, but we do know a few things. We do know that you age better if activities are varied,
All right.
that cognitive, physical, and emotional all matter. You don't just want to hit one area, you want to be hitting all three. Your needs obviously move between cognitive, physical, and emotional too. So you need to provide a range of activities that people enjoy that pull them in. And that's where we got this online platform. This is what the approach we've been developing of what pulls people in. Because at this age, none of us can be told what to do. We have to be attracted in of, okay, I kind of get that. So we get, dynamic yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi classes from experts. That's
Wow.
one slice. Um, Quite a lot of work on, I mean, one of our most popular classes in the last few weeks has become drawing, where you can see in our Facebook page people's versions of Matisse with the cat catching the fish in the bowl from 1916. There's dozens of them, and draw a Matisse, um, or or have some thoughtful time. Obviously, some meditation and mindfulness. We've got a Premier League physiotherapist taking you through living well. Introduce just cook Italian and learn Italian at the same time, or do yoga and do cognitive behavioral therapy at the same time. So, so they're all expert driven, national media type producers doing a new thing, which is participative content. It's not broadcasting. It's you're in a room with them and you're doing it along with them, and everyone's learning.
But Mike, this sounds fabulous. I think you're spot on with the demographics because I would love to do this. But how does this work? Is it recorded or is it something that only happens every now and then?
Well, I mean, we certainly get a lot of calls in our class from, you know, is the recording available after the class? And I was in a Tai Chi class myself last week, and so the teacher Andy is a Chinese bloke. He's just brilliant. He just, you take the apple from the tree, put the apple in your pocket, and then the other. And it's just so well done. And you think it would be handy to kind of catch up and watch this, again and try these moves out again. But actually, how many of us actually do this? How many of us do this assiduously? And is it worth the cost of taking away spontaneity and a social experience? Because let's be blunt, you go into a gym or you go into a cafe with your camera and record people, no one's particularly comfortable with that.
No.
Um, you want people to be comfortable to make mistakes, fall on their bum, get up again, think that was just a moment. And these beautiful moments happen and then they go. And so what we're really doing here is replicating as much as we can the real life experience of doing activities, which is just, it's a joy of the moment and not recording. I think gives people the comfort to just be yourself. No one's, apart from the people right now, right here, no one's watching you.
And you were telling me before that there's an element of participation as well.
If you really think about it, I mean, we've had online education in classes for a long time. We've had the,
Mhm.
I mean, I remember my mother getting up at 4 in the morning to do Open University and BBC Two. That's very, classes there, and then that would be one of the first kind of sort of online, if you like, educational experiences. But it's very much broadcast to you. And it still is. If you look at most online education, very broadcast driven, and on some of them now you can text in and say, "Oh, I've got a viewer from Devon and they say this, and I've got a viewer from Somerset and they say this," but it's kind of like slightly stilted. What these new technologies that have really come alive, particularly in lockdown, we're on one now in Teams, there's another one on Zoom, but what these new technologies have allowed is mass participation. So, and people are experimenting with these new technologies of what's possible. So we've seen in Clubhouse, mass audio participation. This is a hot new app out of Silicon Valley that I became a member of just the other week, which is a kind of it's like being in a club, a nightclub, or a talking club. You can join a room and leave a room. You can ask the moderator for permission to give a comment, and that can happen. So it's participative. I think we're another level along of the instructor is talking to the group are talking to each other in the group are talking to the instructor individually, and the instructor will, for example, in this Tai Chi class, Andy will swipe through the screen as he does every few minutes and say, "Nice moves, off to the left a bit here, off to the," and he'll give personalized feedback on how people are, and this will come back to him. So there'll be hundreds of comments flying around in these sessions.
This is fabulous, Mike. I think we have a great opportunity here, and I'm sure in a couple of months this will be a real. There will be a real fuss about Goldster in the world. Thank you very much for today, and I hope you have enjoyed this interview.
Thank you, Ignacio.